also love irony. Um, but so, hey, baby girl Esmond. Um,
Hey.
so things happen, work, slay, pussy boss, and all that.
Uh-huh.
Um, um, Esmond, it has been a couple days, since your conversation with your brother after his arrival. You know, um,
A super normal conversation with my brother, with my sweet
totally.
baby brother Hayes.
He hasn't avoided you, but like the second, if you try to broach the topic, he does like vacate the premises, and has said that he needs some time to digest.
Remind me what happened.
The whole somebody was actively watching you two and controlling him and manipulating his memories,
Right.
and
See, that's what I thought it
yeah,
was,
and
but I wanted to be sure.
he was older than he was supposed to be. He had been gone longer than you thought, and he
Oh yeah,
thought.
how old is he? He's like 24 now?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was a whole thing.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember. The
Initially you
gun
two were mad
thing.
at each other, and then you're like, "Oh wait, never mind. Your memories were
Never mind.
rewritten."
You're being possessed.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
not a great time. You, for various reasons, are upset at Papa.
Yeah. Just cast sending. I just say, bitch.
Well, your setting doesn't connect right now. Remember, because different plane.
Oh, right. Well, it
Um,
has a percentage chance to not connect.
Depending on the situation of said plane.
That's not in the rules, but okay. DM.
No, because alright, I've seen it argued because there's a whole thing where like powerful arcane users are able to create their own personal demiplanes, and they're able to control essentially the laws of the universe within that miniature demiplane. So I am essentially treating his Gabriel's fucking personal space that he has for various reasons that are up to him, his little protection space, as a fucking. What's the spell that doesn't let anybody look at you or communicate or and blocks mental things off? I can't remember the name of
Uh,
the spell. But he has made a little
like
protection
that.
bubble, essentially.
It's like that necklace
Yeah,
protects you from divination and shit.
because when your enemy is somebody who can project herself into your mind through the sense of fear, you kind of need to keep out all mental things.
Yeah. Hey, he's fucking levitating in a bubble right now.
Essentially.
He's on some
He's like
Lester Lord Cusinelli shit.
more like Avatar: The Last Airbender shit.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Oh, he's fucking anged himself.
Not
Ang,
completely,
as in
but
ang, not hang.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, but he Hayes has been helping out around Armath. I think it was non-detect. I can't remember. I haven't written it down somewhere. I'm not gonna dig it up right
Anti-scrying.
now. Anti-scrying. Um, but Hayes has been helping out around Armath. Uh, and if you tried to be like, hey, you don't need to be like constantly working, like you're fine. You were just traveling a bunch. He'd respond that the physical labor was relaxing and meditative to him. So he has been helping out a lot, helping build. He is apparently now a part-time lumberjack. Not really, but
My God, go
he's good
off.
with an axe. Maybe.
Hell yeah, he is.
Powell has loved having him here. You have seen many a time Hayes like walk through the center of town doing something or other, and Powell is pretty much perched low key on his shoulders. Uh, Powell likes to be tall And now he has the tallest person around who is more than
He like
capable of
feels
carrying him.
tall.
Yeah.
How tall's Hayes?
I think I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, like 8 feet? Hold on, let me
Oh my
find.
fucking god!
Maybe it wasn't 8 feet. Let me find it. I
Like
have it.
7 foot
Um,
2.
I thought I wrote down his height somewhere. I'll find it later. He's massive. He's
Yeah,
he's
good boy.
bigger. He's slightly taller than the tallest person around, which is Maya.
Okay.
So he is most certainly the tallest person here, with the exception of Tyredes, but that's because he's a centaur, and centaur have like double height.
Yeah,
So
they
that's
have an
different.
advantage.
Yeah. um, but the others have been gone for a couple days now.
Even days.
And Erland has been improving, has been able to get up some for periods, though still has to rest. It's still very taxing. In one particular afternoon, you're returning back to your house, maybe to drop something off or pick something up. Nothing time sensitive, just, doing things. And Erland is sitting at the table.
Like the kitchen table?
Yeah, like the kitchen table.
Ah, my favorite location in Armath. Esmond's kitchen table.
Yeah, the most populated area of not populated, the most visited area of Armath.
Yeah, Esmond's kitchen.
D-
So funny.
Uh,
I think Asmund walks in. He's like half struggling to carry like a box, not because it's heavy, just because it's kind of awkward.
mm.
Uh, but he steps inside, kind of like does a double take, because like, oh, you're up and about. That's cool.
Sorry, do you need help with that?
No, 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 I wasn't doing an accent. Don't worry about it.
D-
One sec. Um, I am not sure you'd have much easier time than than I would. He like puts it down
mm-hmm.
carefully as he can with his 8 strength.
Mm-hmm.
He leans against the entryway.
D-
You're up.
yes, I was feeling a bit better today, and you get a bit stir crazy just laying down all the time. Sorry, am I interrupting something?
No, you're really not. I was just surprised. I suppose it's good to see you up and about. Even if it is just down here in the kitchen. Did you need something?
No, I just thought, we haven't really talked since everything with Forsake happened, so I didn't know if you maybe wanted to. We don't have to, though, of course.
Esmond kind of looks around like a little bit like he's on candid camera or some shit. Like cross the room to very like hesitantly, kind of not hesitantly, but like slowly, kind of like take a seat, like with the like expression on his face, like, is this okay?
Mm.
I mean, yeah, we can talk. Was there something in particular you wanted to talk about? And
Tori informed me that she already spoke with you, Awesome, about it, but I wanted to. I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't have allowed me to stay and recuperate here if you weren't aware of this, but I just wanted to be very clear that I did not know what she was planning. And I'm very sorry for my, however unintentional, part in what happened and for not being able to help more in the aftermath.
You really don't have to apologize for that. It's. You trusted her. You thought she trusted you. You had every reason to trust her, and yet here we are, so. Don't feel the need to apologize for. What I'm trying to say, Ireland, is it's not your fault. And it's. If we're going to blame anyone, we can blame me. You can take some blame if you so wish. Tori can take some. Alice can take some. Our walls can take some. But it's not a sole burden for you to bear. It is, in the end, Vorseg who decided to, spit up on us a little bit.
I didn't want to ask this of Tori, since Hells knows she's already probably traumatized enough by it all. But I don't really know everything that went down. If you don't recall, of course I understand it's been a while, but just, I would appreciate your perspective on what took place while I was unconscious in that battle.
Oh, this was a long time ago.
You like I said, you don't have to give specifics.
I will relay to them what I recall of their involvement in that battle and what happened.
Yeah. Do you give your opinion on it at all when you finish, or
No.
just lay out?
I just say the facts.
All right.
Yeah, I get the facts.
Everyone is kind of silent for a while as they seem to take this in. Then they nod slowly. Right, that's about what I understood for context. I appreciate your hospitality, Esmond, and for the care that people paid to me while I was injured.
Aland,
Yes.
when have we ever stood on any sort of formality? It's weird. Why are you? Why are you feeling the need now of all times? Is it because you feel apologetic or guilty? You don't have to. I've already told you.
I brought something dangerous into your home.
And I also brought something dangerous to our home. Have you seen Alice? We know the things she's done. War crimes, probably.
Fair enough.
And you asked me if I would have you leave, and I evidently I would not. So, if you have brought something dangerous into my home, then I neglected to remove something dangerous from this home. And it is unfortunately a mistake I would make again. Maybe that makes me a bad pick for leadership, I don't know.
I don't think so. I think that Esmond, as much as you might not believe me when I say this, but you certainly see the best in people. Or at least, when you decide you'd like someone, you're very stubborn about that. And you aren't easily swayed away from liking someone.
Yes, well, people have very, 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 very... Oh, did I mention very grim sides to them. But you've you've never hurt anybody that I care about. All the Nemesis, he's never hurt anyone I care about. Alice and Tori and Shoshan, and you're very dangerous people. At least I presume you are, but you've never hurt me. And so there must be something good about you, each and every one of you, and I know there is. I cannot fault you for feeling guilt, but all the same I cannot assign you guilty. You are my friends, and I will, until the end of my own sanity, I will trust my friends.
I appreciate that.
I feel like you are the prime example, at least in this conversation, of the lengths we will go for the people we love.
Certainly. I appreciate your words as much as I'm sure everyone else would also appreciate them.
Well, they're not for everyone else, they're for you right now, Ellen.
Always a charmer.
Always.
So what's this I hear about your brother being here? I've
Oh, yeah.
briefly encountered him, but
Ah, my younger brother. Hayes showed up a few days ago. He's used to this whole homesteading situation from when we grew up, so he's taken to chopping wood and, you know, having Powell follow him around. Like, Powell doesn't claim he's a full-grown adult or something.
I think anyone would be fascinated by a new family member they're getting to spend time with.
I'd be shy as hell.
Powell doesn't seem much like the shy type most of the time.
Hmm. Never seen it. But, don't keep burdening that, blame, and it's not good for the baby.
Baby, do you have something to tell me?
Yeah, me.
Yeah. Are you alright, Esmond? You've seemed tense the last few days, ever since the others left.
Oh. Yes. Very tense. When am I not tense, Ellen? I feel like somebody should alleviate me of that and maybe help me out with that tenseness, but here we are. I'm fine for the most part, fine as I ever am. It's just... I'm glad that we all lived, I guess, and I'm still sort of coming down from that. Also just, with my brother arriving, it's been a lot of updates on my family, so... you know how family is. I guess, maybe.
Certainly.
I mean, you and Tori seem to have a lovely relationship, so maybe less so. Well, I guess your dragon mother. You know how families are.
I do know how families are. I
Right.
listen, Esmond. I'm no gossip. However, concerned people do discuss things out of, well, concern. And a little birdie who isn't all that little and is actually very large and rather cat-like may have said something to me about you having some sort of intense conversation with the tiefling woman who Shoshin is acquainted with. You don't have to tell me anything at all. This is not an interrogation, to be clear. It is just an offer that if something is troubling you, I'm happy to be a comforting ear, whether you just want a wall to talk at or just someone to spend time with. I just wanted you to know.
Um, the tiefling woman, wolf, she's, yeah, it's so scary.
Again, a different song.
I thought you meant Scary, like Scar from The Lion King. I was like,
That
I mean,
too.
I've never seen it, but yeah. Uh, tiefling woman, wolf. She goes by Shoshin's friend. I I don't actually know what I am and am not allowed to mention about her. Probably the less the better, just for confidence sake, and the fact that I don't know her all that well, nor does she know me. She is acquainted and affiliated once, or is currently. It doesn't matter. She knows. Um, she's very well acquainted with someone who very much hurt me once. She's his sister, and I thought he was dead.
I'm guessing that means he's not.
He's not.
Well, I'm sure that's something we can rectify if need be.
Oh,
A joke, Esmond. I apologize. Perhaps the wrong time for that.
no, it's you may have to have a bit of a squabble with Powell if that were to be our objective. That's all I will say on the matter.
I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, but I won't push you if you don't want to discuss it.
I didn't raise Powell alone, Erland.
So this is the storied other father, then?
I suppose so.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I just mean in the sense with which Pal talked. I don't know. An optimistic kid, then, I suppose.
I've never told him. Not really. About the bad side, I guess. I wanted him to have his own opportunity to form an opinion on his father. I didn't want to cloud him by telling him that he was a terrible person and that he abandoned us, that he left us. I just wanted him to remember the parts that he liked and the parts that made him happy.
I understand.
I'm pretty sure Paul is sending notes to him.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is someone you would not wish to encounter.
I thought that for a long time. But now I'm not so sure. You recall that I said earlier that people do insane things and they stretch themselves so thin and act like idiots and they act so stupid for the people that they love.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I've had my fair share of that. Both in the way I've acted and the way people have acted out for me. So if I saw him again, I'm not sure what I'd do. Might strangle him.
Well, if he ever does come knocking, you can at least be sure that one word to me and I will make sure you have all the time you need to decide what kind of response you would like to have.
Well, can you freeze time now?
No, but I'm sure I could delay.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what's been going on with me, I guess. I guess small family stuff, not my family, but my family, Powell's, our family, the family that I had that
Speaking.
you, yes.
Go ahead.
No, I refuse.
Speaking of family matters, I don't believe this to be. Sorry, excuse me. I don't believe this to be of high importance. I don't even know if it will ever come up. But Tori and I are siblings. And what was apparently told to Nemesis about who might be attending this wedding, there is a possibility Dory could bump into some people who know of our family. Possibly even our sister. So, I'm not really sure what to say there, but just updating you on that so you don't feel blindsided if something comes up.
Right. Blood.
What?
Like blood related, like blood siblings.
Yes, Tori and I are
Ah,
siblings.
I know I'm not the first person who you would expect to comment on that, considering my own siblings, but you look nothing alike.
She is half elf, I am half elf. I'm half elf
Yeah,
and half drow.
and she is half elf, half.
We're not really sure.
Maybe we can do a 23andMe. Try to figure it out.
Look our family name up on Ancestry.com.
Ancestry.com, yeah, that's how you do it. Gotta get that genealogy sorted.
Find out what percentage we are of all the different,
Yeah,
I don't know.
find that 0.001% Native American.
uh,
But now I think uh, did you always know that you were siblings?
for as long as you've known me, yes.
Huh.
It's.
No.
I've mentioned vaguely before, and I'm sure you've heard, but promises made by the Fae, particularly in the Feywild itself, in the depths of the ancient magic, are very binding. The one who told me the truth swore an oath to only tell me when he considered me of age. That doesn't mean, when I was essentially 18. Just means when he thought I was of mental fortitude to be ready for it. I made a similar oath, and that held me back from telling Tori for a very long time. And then, even when it did come to the time where I thought that she might be able to handle it, by then we were here. Things were starting to happen. The iron conscription was showing up. I didn't think it was an appropriate time to have that conversation with her. But we have now had it, so.
Well, that's good. That's good. Good. Is that good?
I think it is good, yes. She seemed overwhelmed by it.
Right.
Though she seemed to understand. Because of our older sister's situation, or at least our understanding of it, she was angry about some of the possibilities that might be there, but we don't know for sure, since I haven't seen her in, God, a couple hundred years. Long, long before the fusion. But
Right.
yes.
Well, I'm glad that I'm glad you were able to finally tell her. Even if it might not have been at the most ideal of moments.
Certainly.
I don't think there's ever really a correct time to tell someone something like that.
No, I agree.
What the fuck is that, your roommate?
Yeah.
Ew.
I wish that there could be a golden shining moment where you know it's the perfect time to tell someone news like that, but sadly, that apparently isn't in the cards.
Right. I hate to defer uh, in any respect, but you saying that is sort of. Do you think I should tell him, Poland?
Tell Powell about his father.
Yes.
That depends.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
It sounds like, both in what you have said now and in the past, you viewed whatever happened between you two in a very negative light, from what I understand very fairly, and you were very hurt by it. And thus anything you might have said to Powell then might have tainted his view. Not unfairly, but certainly, as you referenced, changed his how he viewed the good memories. However, what you are also implying now is that there is an element to whatever happened between you two that makes you question it and makes you certainly angry, but for different reasons now. I guess you'd have to ask yourself, how much would you tell Powell? What aspects, how much of your feelings, what of other facts you would say only just what you have heard from yourself and apparently Wolf? Would you attempt to speak with this father and try to have a mutual conversation? To be clear, I'm not saying don't tell him. I think it would be a good idea to talk to him about it eventually, certainly, but I think you'd have to be sure about how you are presenting it to him. I don't think you would be in the wrong for painting his father in a bad light, but I think you'd want to be sure of what kind of path you want to approach that with.
When did you become such a parent?
I'm a couple centuries old, Esmond. These things happen.
Yet all the same. Right. Was there anything else?
No, no.
Are they lying?
You can roll insight if you want.
Bitch, I might. It's gonna be bad.
Advantage
bad.
from what? Ned?
8.
Oh, ring. True, you do have advantage from your ring.
Oh.
Is it still bad?
Called the same thing. It's an 8.
Yeah, they're telling the truth, definitely.
Ugh.
Totally. But Esmond, excuse me,
Hi.
sorry,
Hey,
Erland kind of like stands up, seems to like have that brief moment of vertigo, you know, when you stand up and your head kind of spins. But then they kind of blink slowly. Right, well, I think I'm going to enjoy some sunlight. If you wish to join me, of course, feel free. I'd welcome the company, but if you have work to do right now, I don't wish to detain you any further.
Do I have anything else to do?
Yeah, what you were doing before isn't super pressing. It's really up to you whether how Esmond feels about, if there's an awkward element or whatnot,
I don't think Asmund think there's any awkwardness whatsoever. I was just like, yeah, I'm chilling. Uh, Asmund will get up. It's a little funny that you're saying you're going to get up and enjoy the sun. And he's like saying this as he walks over to the exit of like the kitchen and he opens the front door. Because, typically, at least from what I've read, you can correct me if I'm wrong, drow not typically fans of the sun, and I'm holding the door for you.
Oh, it certainly makes it hard for me to see. I still enjoy the
Uh,
feeling of it, though.
Fair enough.
I'm not all drow. But
Just
they'll
half.
walk over and kind of like eyes closed, enjoy the first warmth of sunlight, very much like Cat doing a little bread stick in the
Yeah.
sun. And they glance to you. I hate to ask, Mr. Closey.
Oh
Could
god.
could I request your elbow, just in case? I'm frail after all.
Okay. If you want to put your hands on me, just ask outright.
So forward.
I'll give them my elbow.
They very primly put like one long nailed hand around your elbow and the other on top of like your forearm. Uh, and you two take a stroll in the sun. You catch Erland up on the more day to day things, projects that are going on, someone new has arrived. Yeah, average things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um yeah, Savior. Yes. uh, um but
Wait, hold on, thought.
yeah.
I have to pee so bad.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll be
there's
right
no, you're good. There's gonna be more, so you're all good.
Yeah, okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Hello, Netjam. How are you doing? I'm doing good. What are your thoughts in general, whether it be about D&D or life or I don't know. Chilling? That's very fair. Hey, I can give you something going on, Anyways. Don't worry about it, King. Just, normal guy things. Listen, sadly, I can't really give sauce to Shoshin right at the second, since you are with people right now. And you did have a conversation with your dog buddy, like less than 24 hours ago in game. So, gotta give the little guy a break. I think you spoke with Dog while you were already traveling, right? Or was it before you guys traveled? Okay. Hello, Savior. I don't think you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. I didn't know if you were on your phone on the toilet.
No. I pee very fast.
Understandable. Sometimes you think you're just gonna pee and then you sit down and you're like, oh, never mind. I'm gonna be here for a second. Just kidding. Little prank on myself.
Camping.
Yeah. But Yee.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me drink a sip. Coffee.
Oh, my bad. Esmond doesn't have 8 strength.
Yeah.
He has 7.
Oh, that's so exciting for him.
Jesus.
Erland gets the shaky knees, and Esmond falls before Erland does.
It's fine. He's got Dex and Con.
uh, uh, but, beep, 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 beep. Let me see. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find something.
Okay, I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's been so long since I've had Esmond's character sheet open. Boy has spells.
Spells.
He's got fucking spells. Spelloos.
You know, when you search your notes for something,
Yes, sir.
And the program is like, oh, you want a word that contains this. And you're like, no, I've put a space after it. I want just these letters. I don't want any words that contain these 4 selection of letters.
Uh-huh.
Netjum's already like, write that down, write that down. But why do I not have this fucking written down? This is so rude. Beep, 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 beep. Alright. It's a couple days later, Esmond.
Yes.
It's, you know, there had been some time after the siege, a few, like a month, before the others left. I think it might have even been over a month. I can't remember. It's been a period of time, so you've kind of gotten used to like the day-to-day stuff. In this period of time, some other people have shown up, who've either, by some other people I mean just like 4 or 5 max, have shown up with various words of like, we heard tell of Armath, or we ran into this group that were like kind of crazy, but they said
His
they're
mother.
from here and they gave us directions. You know.
Yeah.
So it's been some getting those people sorted, continuing to work on Armath. Hayes has seemed to have gotten very invested in a project that he's kind of happily taken charge of, because it's something he's more familiar with. He is helping the wall around Armath be upgraded from just wood to like a proper stone wall. Like, well,
Gosh.
oh my
My
god.
brother.
Oh my god. You remember that, many years ago, when, before you left, but long enough that Hayes had settled in with living it with you all, there had been, a storm. One of the rooms on the side of the house you grew up in had collapsed, and Hayes had spent a lot of time learning from your father how to build, and had been, rather skilled at knowing, like, at understanding structure and load bearing and all those fun things. So you know that Hayes has some form of experience. You're not sure how much beyond that, but
Architecture.
architecture. He seems to take to it well. Uh, but uh, during this particular moment, you're kind of watching from a distance. Hayes direct someone, show them how to like use a pulley system to lift up one of the larger rocks to on top of the wall that's in process. When you hear the gates of Armath opening behind you.
Okay. I'll be like, huh?
Yeah, it's not that odd for people to go in and out. So it's usually just like a glance over your shoulder, see who's returning from doing this and that.
Yeah.
And you glance back to see Parrot slash Bulwark, the half orc that works with Havoc, but she is also. I said she. They are also the blacksmith that Havoc has been sending occasionally to help you guys out with things. So it's you see Parrot like every other day or so.
Yeah.
So it's not odd to see them. What is odd is as they step aside, with their massive bulk, you see Havoc behind them.
Oh my god, bestie.
Kind of like
Bestie.
awkwardly shifting their cloak as people are just like completely open about their staring.
Why?
I mean, Havoc has shown up sometimes as an ally. Also, did like brutally attack the town for a little bit, and then was
Yeah,
like,
we call
actually,
it
we're
that.
chill now.
Yeah, we got better.
So people are just kind of like bug eyes staring, like, okay, what's the situation right now?
Hi.
Ally.
I will do a little jog over to meet her.
Yeah. Parrot doesn't say anything to you, just gives kind of the two-fingered salute and walks past you. Um, and Havoc approaches. I will say to you, Havoc hasn't been to Armath since Hayes got here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, are
I
you?
remember.
Yeah. She doesn't seem to have noticed. He's like on the clear other side of town, so it's not like
Yeah.
she could notice him instantly.
Yeah.
But she kind of like does little like cock the hips, fold her arms, not in like an aggressive way, but in like a I need my hands to do something way.
Yeah.
And says, "Hey, sorry if coming unannounced."
No, it's if it isn't you, Havoc, the person who I have very little feelings on and I'm mostly neutral about seeing today.
Yeah, that's certainly
Yeah,
understandable.
sure. Well, since you stopped trying to harass and kill some of us, I've grown mostly neutral on your presence.
That's so crazy. Now that you guys aren't convinced that you hate every single thing I do, it's almost like we get along or something.
That's crazy. It's almost like you became tolerable after you stopped trying to kill us.
I wasn't killing you at first, but that's a story for another day. She kind of walks past you, like pats your shoulder heartily as she walks past. So I wanted to talk to you about some stuff.
Right.
We.
I might want to mention something first in that case.
Oh,
But no, please go on.
I was just gonna say, last we spoke, you mentioned wanting to be on some more even terms about things, more of an alliance than just begrudging neighbors, which I'm open to. Um,
Yes.
I taught, I had some of my people teach your people things. Parrot happily comes in between us, doing work for us both. I think it's working out well.
Go
I
on.
will say one thing that I think is important that you have.
Okay.
And she kind of turns towards you again, though it's always hard to tell where she's looking because of the mask.
Yeah.
And says, You don't like the Armath conscription. Of course. Nothing wrong with that. My thing is, you don't seem to have fought them much. Not that I think, you're an aggressive type. I would never assume that as it. But
I don't think you have to assume, considering I've stated pretty much the opposite of that.
Mm-hmm. However, I think we can both agree that the Iron Conscription very much does not like you right now. And it was said as such that they'll be back once, apparently, I don't know everything. Some hubbub is going on up north. And they're taking care of that. So, it's good that they're distracted. It gives us time. I made some notes. Just a few that I figured would be helpful about typical tactics that the Iron Conscription uses and teaches. I thought, you might like that. She pulls out, her few notes. It's like a hefty, decent-sized journal with, mismatched papers shoved inside.
Okay. Esmond takes it. He leaves through it really quick.
It is...
You have terrible penmanship.
Yeah, it is very messy. It's readable, but it is so, hurried and doesn't give a shit about what it looks like.
Yeah.
There's one page that tries to illustrate weak points in the armor they give most of their troops, but it's just a stick figure with arrows pointing to different parts of this random stick figure.
Oh my god. You're an artist.
I know.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go into that when I retire, but...
Well, I can see retirement being bright and perspective for you.
Totally. Maybe I'll retire here and make you deal with me all the time. But...
I already do.
I haven't been here in a week, so...
Should I be expecting to see you more in that case?
I'm gonna start thinking you miss me or something.
God forbid.
Flattered. But... I'm a bit more concerned about you specifically. You are the leader of Armath. I don't remember what title you
Margrave.
are. Margrave. Yeah.
A leadership that you, if I recall correctly, were somewhat against.
Things happen.
Sure.
But if you are going to be the leader, we need to kind of get you a bit more ready to deal with the fact that the Iron Conscription could change their mind and come back at any time.
I've read a lot of books. We're not doing a montage.
Yeah, no, I get it. Reading books, all that, that's probably what you're best at. I'm not good at that kind of thing.
You could be.
I think
but
you could do with maybe a little bit more hands-on training.
Right. That's about what I expected you to say.
Is that disagreeable?
It's not disagreeable, it's just... hesitant. Apprehensive.
Listen, you're fancy enough with your words and mannerisms. We gotta get your feet to match that too, Get you dancing around the battlefield like you dance around saying what you actually mean,
Uncalled for, but fine.
Am I wrong?
No. Yes. Esmond closes the book. I did want to mention something before we get...
Are you gonna ruin my good mood?
Depends on how you react to what I'm going to tell you.
Oh.
Emotions are really just what you let yourself feel and what you succumb to.
Right.
Nothing can hurt you if you don't let it.
Yeah.
I called my brother.
Yeah.
Hayes, or what, Wrath you called him?
Yeah.
He's patching a wall on the other side of town with my son.
Lovely.
If that is a detriment to your good mood, I apologize.
No, that's a conversation that can be broached later.
Sure. Just thought I'd let you know.
Appreciate it.
Is she like, what's her like vibe right now?
Roll insight, you get advantage.
Dirty 20.
She's facing away from you at an angle, and she's always difficult to read, what with the layers and layers of clothing, her face being covered. It's hard to see her body language, so that plus her lack of expression always makes it hard. But for once, you can pretty much read the line of tension between her shoulders. You can see the way her usually fidgeting hand with constant energy is still and kind of clenched. And you can see how she's very pointedly not facing you, and also not facing the direction you had indicated Hayes to possibly be in. She is displeased. You're not entirely sure about, obviously it's something about Hayes, but you're not sure if it's, in what manner it's displeased.
Sure. What's got you all twisted up, Havoc?
If you don't stop, you're gonna end up with more bruises than I was already planning. That's not a threat. I'm trying to be good about this. Let's just...
You can only temper my curiosity so much.
And why don't you temper this fist to your knee, alright? Come on. She starts walking, like fully intending on you following.
Wait, are you actually going to, like, punch me or something?
We said hands on training, didn't we?
Yeah, I didn't think you actually meant that you were going to... I would like to offer you a comparison.
Would you rather
Havoc.
use weapons?
I will follow her. But I would like to offer you a comparison. And like pulls up the sleeve of his jacket to show like his arm, which is like noodle. And then like smacks her like bicep.
It doesn't move for an inch.
Yeah, you get what I mean, right?
Yeah, that's why we're gonna work on it.
Lord help me.
I do want you to picture in your head, like, tall, lanky Esmond. You've got a long stride. However, you're having to speed walk to keep up with significantly shorter Havoc, who doesn't even seem like...
caffeinated.
She doesn't even seem like she's trying hard to walk fast, because she just has a naturally higher movement speed than you. So, very lanky guy walks very quickly to keep up with lesbian on a mission. A very good duo in my brain, you know?
It's role model solidarity.
Yeah. But she kind of walks you to apparently an area of Armath she's eyed before. It's where, Shoshen and Nemesis sparred before with Powell and giving him some tips and tricks about up-close fighting. Some of the others have sparred here before. Wolf had showed some of the various villagers some defensive moves in this spot. It's just like a dirt, but not too dusty, cleared out area behind one of the barns where people tend to use it to do physical training stuff.
Right. Okay, so...
Yeah?
What am I allowed to do exactly, and what am I not allowed?
Well, we're gonna start with, assessing where you're at right now, because obviously, you were holding back with that punch there, so we're gonna actually try.
It's like a face.
I'm gonna assess where you're at. I've trained people before. I've trained people in a worse situation than you, So
I feel like I'm in a pretty good situation right now. All things
I'm not
considered.
saying you're in a bad situation. I'm saying I've trained people who are in a very, very bad situation, which meant they were worse off than you. So
Like less bones, maybe.
like less bones, like children.
I don't like thinking about that.
Well, you gotta teach them how to defend themselves somehow, right?
Not much like the eye conscription.
Not alone. But she kind of like looks you up and down. You got an undershirt on. That's so fancy, and I feel like you're gonna whine if it gets dirty.
I have like 30 of these.
You're not worried about overheating or anything of the sort.
Are you trying to get me to strip, Havoc?
No, I don't want to deal with you complaining 30 seconds in.
Sure. You know that scene in Glass Onion where he takes off his jacket to start soliloquating?
Yeah.
And like, that's the energy. Drops it to the side. Please?
Yes. She similarly removes her, like, heavy, ragged poncho and kind of tosses it to the side.
She does that and Ezra just like puts his hands on his head and like does a little spin around, like looks up and down and is like, what the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I doing?
She turns to face you and very easily, like, falls into a stance, you know, with her legs spread, turned sideways towards you, arms kind of held up loosely. Have you ever been taught how to throw a punch? I'll be very disappointed if Hayes never taught you how to at least safely throw a punch.
I was always sort of against the idea of violence in general, you understand.
Do you know how to safely throw a punch?
I know how to throw a punch, Havoc.
Yeah, show me how you put your fingers.
I'm trying to decide if Esmond does know. Because I know Esmond.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll do it. It's not very good. But he does it in the way that he will not break his thumb.
Yeah, okay. She, like, comes out of her stance to come over and inspect, kind of repositions your fingers briefly. Just slight. To you, it seems just slightly, but who knows? Might save your fingers from getting broken. Right.
Sure.
Alright, so, yeah, we keep it loose, and she, like, starts to walk you through steps that you were walked through long time ago. By both your father and Hayes, making sure you could at least, you know, maybe punch somebody who, I don't know, tried to steal something when you guys went to sell your goods at the local fucking farmer's market.
Yeah.
You know, basic things like that. Teach your children to do basic violence just in self-defense.
Hey, that's nicest, baby.
Yeah. But eventually it gets to the point where she seems to be content that you won't snap a finger throwing a punch, and just kind of like stands in front of you. Alright, go for it. Not the mask, but because, you know, that'll hurt your hand a lot, but
Right.
go for it.
You want me to punch you?
Well, yeah, it's the best way to gauge where you're at.
I feel as though you're going to be exceptionally disappointed.
No, probably.
Great. Okay, I'm gonna...
Go ahead and roll an arm strike.
Roll the 3!
We'll say that this isn't for the purpose of whether you hit or not, because she's standing still directly in front of you.
Sure.
However, you hit.
Well, do my unarmed strikes do 0?
I know. I know this. You hit,
Okay.
and she just kind of like stands at where your fist is pressed against her shoulder blade, and then at you, and you can like feel the expression of like, right.
I cast Inflict Wounds.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right. What's the saving throw?
It's not. It's an attack roll.
Go ahead.
I rolled a 6. So it's just like a little shock.
Yeah, I'll say like
Static.
she's giving you this like mental expression. You guys kind of stare at each other for a moment, and then you try to cast the spell, and at the first fizzle of magic, she grabs your hand and like shoves your fingers back until she's like pressing your palm almost to the point of like pain. You know, like when you press it backwards.
Yeah.
And she just kind of like holds it there. And just,
Esmond grew up with siblings.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what he could do here.
So what we're not gonna do is that. I'm trying to get a gauge of where you're at so that I can help you.
The gauge is 0. The gauge is 0.
Yeah. You want me to let go?
Yep. Yep.
Uh-huh. What do you say?
Let go of my hand, Havoc.
Just let's go. Right. Again.
I have to punch her again.
We'll say you spend the next, like, 10 minutes of her just going, again.
I just want to see what I'd roll.
Yeah.
I rolled a 5!
Okay. An improvement.
I'm getting better!
But she does that with you for a little bit. Then she has you try to do a push-up. I presume it does not go well.
I don't... Wait, here, let me roll strength and see how well this goes.
Let's say a strength saving throw, at least.
Oh, a strength saving throw? Okay.
Just to struggle to straighten your arms.
That's a 3. It's 5 minus 2.
You face plant into the dirt after barely lifting yourself off the ground.
He's very willowy.
He is willowy, and also, you know, it's not a position you're used to. It's not a movement you're used to. She has you... Yeah?
No, it's fine. Go on.
No, I didn't, but that is funny.
It's not a position he's used to.
But she then seems to, like, want to, like, I suppose, measure your endurance.
Okay.
And has you, like, essentially run suicides back and forth for, like, 2 minutes.
Oh, what is that?
You've never done a suicide? Okay, so, alright.
I mean...
That sounds bad. No, so those are, when, like, a gym teacher has you run back and forth between 2 lines. You have to bend down and touch the line, then book it to the other line, bend down and touch it, go back and forth until the coach tells you to stop.
We just called those lines.
Fair. They're often called suicides in American sport because they're awful and
yeah, they suck.
Yeah, they are fucking rough.
Great, cool.
Yeah.
Could do that. What do you want, athletics?
Constitution saving throw. This is for your breathing. You know, how are you regulating your breathing?
Rolled an 8! Esmond has no athletic ability.
So you on like the 5th one, you go down to touch the line and you do not come back up because you're wheezing.
Just lay down.
I will say, she doesn't give you a hard time about any of this. She doesn't say, like, you can do better, or, like, you're doing terrible. She just kind of, like, seems to nod and make a note of everything. And as you're, like, laying there panting for breath, she comes over. Alright, so we're gonna do some training 3 times a week. We're going to start getting you a little bit more hardy, so to speak. I will ask you this, Esmond. For the first, I guess you could say, leg of this improvement journey, what would you like to focus on? Your speed? Your strength? Or your fucking lungs? Essentially, if you do training with Havoc, every 2 weeks of this training, if you keep it up without complaint, you can improve either constitution, dexterity, or your strength by 1.
Right.
and that is only for this period
Okay.
of while the party's away. So, she is requesting which one you would like to work on.
Probably. Uh, Dexterity.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, she gives a short nod. Alright. Last of all, have you got your breath yet?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, alright, stand up.
He stands up. It's like he like steadies himself.
That little
Uh-huh.
that little fizzle of magic before. Try it for real.
The inflict wounds?
Yeah?
Okay, really. On Havoc?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I will cast inflict wounds at first level on her.
Where is it?
Natural 20.
Roll again as she uses her refocus to give you disadvantage.
Bruh. This sucks. Fucking 9.
You feel the moment when you first cast the spell, and you feel like you did hit her, but then you can feel that semi-familiar feeling of reality almost being shifted to the left slightly, and your spell does not hit. She gives an approving nod. Right. Again.
I only have so many spell slots, girly.
She'll run you through them.
Okay. I'll do it again.
Yeah, go ahead and roll again at disadvantage.
Oh, Jesus. 17.
That time it does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
She's even being nice, and she didn't deal the damage to you that this action is supposed to do.
31 points of necrotic damage.
Alright. What do you think it looks like when you cast Inflict Wounds?
I don't think inflict wounds was something Esmond had prior to like his death.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like how he kind of has that like lingering sort of astral sea bullshit, sort of lividitying at the base of like his fingertips and stuff. It's sort of like that under his hand, like goes out and expands, but it's not like dark black or anything like that. It's like it looks like when you pop like a blood vessel, but just a bunch of them like zigzagging up
Yeah.
the skin and flesh.
You do that, and she seems to
Like a
take-
taser.
Yeah. You can see like the slight jump of her arm when it impacts. It's hard to see if she makes an expression of pain or anything of the sort.
Yeah.
As the spell finishes, she rolls her neck and says, "Right, my turn."
Oh.
And she kind of just like vaguely waves a hand, and I need you to make a charisma saving throw with disadvantage.
Charisma save.
Yeah, they're good at those.
I am good at those. Uh. Okay. Okay. I rolled the same thing twice, 16.
Nice, nice. Alright, so you get to take half. You take,
Great.
beep, 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 beep. What is half? What is math? Sleep. What? There we go. Half of that is, so you take 8 psychic damage,
Okay.
and you take 11 force damage, as you feel that kind of synchronization sweep over you and you stumble a bit, though you manage to not be knocked prone or take the full damage. When she sees, you manage to stay up and stuff, she gives a short nod. Good. Last time we fought, you failed at that. So, that's an improvement.
Not for lack of trying.
Alright, so here's the game plan. And she steps closer. And seems like she's about to run through, her training regimen or whatever she's got in mind. And as she does that, you hear the sound before it impacts, and you have just a moment of thinking like, hey, that kind of sounds like something's flying through the air. And then over your shoulder, you see out of the corner of your eye a hand axe go flying past and slam into like the junction of Havoc's shoulder and neck. And she staggers back, just going, what the fuck? And you glance back to see a very angry looking Hayes.
Okay, yeah.
Who only saw her just deal damage to you and then get up in your face. I love to create situations.
Esmond will step very, 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 like, step forward between me. Whoa!
Hayes was like already raising a hand for his great axe, though he pauses. He doesn't seem to have. You've seen him angry before. You've seen how his gaze kind of like unfocuses and just like draws upon that deep rage, and he seems to like have instantly gone into rage without fully realizing who it was with you. And he's like taking heavy breaths and kind of refocuses on you for a moment. You alright?
I mean, I'm probably wake up with a bit of a sore limp tomorrow, but yeah, I'm fine. I think it's really Havoc you've got issue with in the axe and the shoulder and the flesh wound.
You were attacked and
Yeah, I consensually. Mostly.
Havoc? You kind of glance back to see her like rip the hand axe out of her shoulder with like a quiet fuck.
I'm gonna cast Healing Word at 3rd level.
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay, she heals 15.
Oh, nice. Oh, she's back to half.
Yeah.
It's a hand axe you've never seen before. You notice as it like kind of like clatters to the ground where she drops it. And she glances past you to Hayes. Yeah, fucking hello to you too. What a way to greet someone. Why, Esmond, why were you two fighting?
Do you remember that? No, this is a bad metaphor, actually. I'm not going to do that. Well, there was a time when she was trying to kill me, but I was also a little bit trying to kill her, but not as much as she was trying to kill me. And then she was possessed, and then she wasn't, and now she thinks I need to be able to punch better. So we're working on it.
He kind of stares at you for a second. You see his gaze flick past you to her, and then back to you. Right. Sorry, Esmond, for interrupting then.
You don't apologize to me. You can apologize to Havoc for throwing an axe in her.
Right.
Yeah, I can go if you want. I can leave.
No. I know where to find her. And he turns and walks away, and you hear him calling out, like, false alarm, Powell, I was wrong. You can faintly hear, like, Havoc behind you under her breath going, What the actual fuck? What the fuck?
I'll turn around to her. What?
What do you mean, what?
Well, I mean, I didn't think that there would be so much of a sore note between the two of you. If I'm being completely honest, I thought it would be elation and tears and, I don't know, happy reunions or something.
Yeah, me fucking either. And
Right.
what kind of aggression is that?
Hayes has always been like that, Havoc,
What? Since when?
since I met him.
He was the gentlest motherfucker around when we knew him.
Well, it's sort of like, gentle in some respects, bloodthirsty in others.
Yeah,
You can't tell me that the name Wrath was entirely ironic.
it was. They named us after things they wanted us to become.
Well, you certainly do cause enough havoc.
Yeah, I lived up to it.
Is that the name you'll always go by?
I don't know. Not much reason to go by something else right now. It's not like
Fair
I
enough.
have a happy little family I lived off on a farm with.
Well, I was just going to say, Pat, that means the Fae probably can't get you just as easy.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry that you weren't the one who got picked up then, I guess.
No, it's whatever.
We could have been siblings if things had gone differently.
I guess I wasn't cut out for it. But she still seems to be like bothered by whatever happened there, though she kind of like shakes it off. I'll track him down later. Yeah, I hear you. This whole thing, and she kind of gestures vaguely to the dusty ring, isn't the only reason I came. There is one more thing.
Right.
You want to go to your kitchen? I feel like that's where I've been the most here in Armath, you know?
Is that where I need to go to have what I presume is going to be a difficult conversation?
I don't know about difficult. That's up to you, bud.
Right. The kitchen, then. And we'll pick up his jacket, like, very pointedly.
Yeah, it's just the same with her poncho. Which,
Fucking dust it off.
yeah, she doesn't even bother dusting off hers. It's the same color as her poncho, and the longer you look at it up close, you're pretty sure it was never this color before, and she just doesn't clean it.
Girl.
It's the outer layer, you know, for battle and stuff. Ow, ow, ow! Don't bite my ankle!
He wants blood.
Apparently. If you want to cuddle, just come up and cuddle. You don't have to bite me to get attention. But you two head to the ever so famous kitchen.
Yeah.
The storied kitchen, you know?
Yeah.
Place of greatness.
Consistent.
Mm-hmm. She comes right in, immediately makes herself at home as she did the last time she came here. That is to say, pulling out a chair at an ankle, leaning back in it to like the dangerous degree where you think she's gonna drop back onto the floor, and kicks her boots up on your table.
Oh no, please, Havoc, take a seat. Can I get you anything to drink? Put your feet up.
You got some
Make
wine?
yourself at home. I don't. Not yet. I have cider.
Yeah, that works.
Fine. Is Erland still staying here?
In the room, yeah, because Erland doesn't
Okay.
have their own place, but you don't know if Erland is currently in the house.
Okay, just checking. But yeah, I'll get her a glass.
Mm-hmm.
I'll set it down very pointedly, like looking at her boots on the table.
Thanks, babe. So,
It's just a house.
Yeah.
Crack open a cold one with the boys.
Yeah, the husband just got home from work. You gotta bring him his cold one while he watches TV.
Jesus.
Uh, but she takes a long sip of the cider, sets it down with a clank. So, I've talked about it before, though we didn't really have a chance to discuss it at length. But you're aware that I get my abilities because of a byproduct of an agreement I have with a being I encountered who shares some of their abilities with me.
Right, who may or may not begin with a D and end with a Esico.
Anyo is their name. I
Sure.
will spell that. I'm pretty sure.
I know it,
Said the
yeah.
name before. Yeah. Anyo is their name. And they are not a Desico. They were once a Desico. A host, specifically. Since Desico is the power. Essentially. Not the person themselves. But Anyo has expressed interest in speaking with you and expressed that they think you might be interested in speaking with them.
Can I ask what led them to this conclusion?
Your many questions about Desico, you apparently being deeply involved to the point where you were somehow resurrected with stuff. I don't know. I don't pay attention to the particulars, to the deep details.
Right, that's Anyo's responsibility and problem.
No, Anya doesn't usually say a word about things.
Right, and how would I talk to them? Exactly.
She kind of considers you for a moment. Why did I put on Summer's Coming in? I said skip.
Summer's
There we go.
coming.
This is a much better song. Perfect.
Ooh. Is this from Inscription?
Yeah.
Ugh.
But, she leans forward and kind of like reaches down and pulls something out of her pocket. You hold this. She seems to like linger and then set it down on the table. And you see a tooth. A molar, specifically.
That's a tooth.
Yeah. Now that the eye is gone, all other parts of Anyo's body are officially decomposed. The teeth, though, those last a little longer.
Gross.
I know.
Okay, just checking. Making sure we're on the same page that this is weird.
Oh, it is. It is.
So what?
You don't want to think about how I'm able to speak to them all the time.
Yeah, you're right. I don't want to think about it, Havoc.
But she kind of like reaches down and like flicks the tooth and it tink tinks a few inches across the table towards you. I'll need it back, but for now I can leave you to speak with Anyo.
Should I have a babysitter for this trip?
What do you mean? me to stick around? You scared?
No, I was just, wondering.
Esmond, if you need a social baby security blanket, I can be that for you.
You know, you're really annoying sometimes.
That's my specialty.
Right, you want to go find my brother doing this? When I'm busy.
Maybe.
So it's a tooth, what do I do with it?
I don't know, hold it. Do whatever you want.
Whatever feels right.
Yeah.
Fine. He'll reach out towards it and grab it just between two fingers. And look at it. Are you fucking with me?
Me? No. On your
Right.
last privacy, though, so I'll do that. She kind of stands up and abruptly reaches down and, like, pats your cheek heartily. Chipper up. And then turns and exits your kitchen.
Bitch.
You can very clearly hear her, like, make a lot of noise leaving your house and slamming the door behind her.
Jesus. At least put your cup in the sink!
You sit there for a few moments, just kind of holding the tooth. Do you do or say anything?
I like turning my hand. I'm pretty sure Havoc's just fucking with me. Are you actually one of her baby teeth?
No, what would make you think that?
I'm uncomfortable. Put the
You're...
tooth down on the table, like very like slowly, like
Yeah, as you do, you put it down. You notice a hand on the table. You follow it, and you look up to see sitting in the seat where Havoc just left, a young human, presumably. And at first, they seem very average, very run-of-the-mill. They're wearing clothes you've never seen a style of before. Something with shorter sleeves, material you don't recognize, baggy pants with like a lot of pockets on them. There's like a chain.
Fucking cargo short. Fucking cargo pants.
There's like a chain hanging.
Oh my god, they have a chain wallet.
They have these like kind of pretentious looking glasses on.
What? It's just me.
And they have like dyed and shaved hair.
You're just describing me.
Not most of us. Could be like you or Laura or me if I finally wasn't so lazy about dyeing my hair. Yeah, it literally out of character, just like a young mid to late 20s human like punk, you know, just like an average looking.
And I feel harmony in this Distant Dawn tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have like a lot of rings on the hand that's on the table, and they kind of like knock those metal rings against the table. And when they do, for a moment, you see a flicker of what they might have been once. You see an eye gone. You see the socket is, not to be graphic, but long rotted.
Ew.
The jaw is torn off. Whatever was there once is now gone. But the flicker is gone before you can take in much more. Whatever it was a body long devastated and falling apart. And the person kind of tilts their head at you. So, I've been looking forward to speaking with you.
Yeah, so I heard.
You and your people got my eye back. Appreciate it.
We did sort of ruin it after that, but yes.
No, that was kind of ideal for me. Less
Right,
parts of myself floating around, the better.
sure.
So,
What? Yeah.
Esmond Clousey. Been a while since I heard that name.
I wasn't convinced it was a name that you would have heard from anyone beyond Havoc.
Oh, I heard it before.
Great. Glad to know that my renown has reached all corners of Nexus.
Nexus is a way to put it.
What exactly are you? Havoc said that you wanted to speak to me and that I would be interested in speaking to you, but I don't do well with this elusive bullshit.
Do you know what my attribute was when I was a Jessica?
No, I don't.
Do you have any guess? Taking a look at what Havoc is capable of doing now.
I'm, perhaps.
In a way. What I was good at was foresight. Predicting the future. Havoc doesn't
Oh.
have that full power. So she's not able to predict. But sometimes she can change what has only just happened to something a little bit different. The ideal thing for her. But that's only minor compared to what I was once able to do.
If you are presently contained within this, he points to the tooth.
Oh, many.
Right.
People don't have
Many.
just one tooth after all.
Wait, yes, I'm familiar. He, like, snaps his teeth a few times. I know. Havoc said you are a host for a Desico. The Desico is the power, so who has your power now?
I don't know.
They have the full power, or does Havoc have part of it, which prevents them from having the full thing?
Someone wanted my power. Wanted me to agree to join them, but when I disagreed, they attacked and stole it by force. And that's
Who was
not
it?
how it's supposed to work.
Okay.
So, most of it went to them, and some of it stayed with me, and I used it to suspend myself until I could find somebody who could help me. And that person turned out to be Havoc and her little friend. I saved them from dying. Havoc promised that if we ever found word of the person who stole my power, we would go after them.
Can I ask who it was that stole your power?
No one you'd know.
What if I hear a name?
Let's just say, be careful of people who play the game. I may not have my foresight anymore, but I know enough to know that if I meddle too much, I'll be noticed. So, we'll leave it at that.
Fine. How do you know me exactly then? Know my name.
I told you. was the Desico of Foresight. More specifically, I guess you could say my attribute was being prepared. When a power moves on to a new person, it stays the same at its core, but sometimes parts of it become a bit more prevalent depending on the person. And let's just say I was a very prepared person. You could also call it anxiety, but
Sounds like somebody I know. And they are definitely not lurking around anywhere here.
totally. You are an interesting case, Esmond Clausey.
So everybody keeps telling me.
I wasn't sure if they were actually going to do it.
What do you... Who do what? I'll play along.
Go through with their little plan, but I was a bit distracted when everything started, when it all went down. So it's good to know that my guess was correct.
I'll sum this up quickly. Are you going to tell me what you're implying, or are you just going to be vague?
Do you remember your parents? Your body.
Ooh, bitch! Ooh, bitch! Ooh, bitch! No.
Of course not. How could you? Poor little baby. Saved from a horrible fate. He tried
My
so
father
hard.
said they died, is what he told me.
Well, one of them certainly did.
Oh.
And I'm sure he wished the other did as well. Oh, Gabriel. Always the second son, always the follower.
Like grabbing my table so tight. Like, okay.
Makes sense that he'd make raising you away from everyone else such a priority.
You...
You want to know something, Esmond?
I'm not sure if I do.
Nezuko can have children. You know? They're still people, after all. They can have children, procreate, fuck, whatever you want to call it, but
If you didn't.
back before everything fell apart, back before the fusion, we had one law. One law that was punished above anything else, above any petty squabble or disagreement or power struggle. It was not allowed, not possible, for a Desico to have a child with another Desico. Because if we had to have a child with a mortal, it would dilute the power. Still be dangerous, but manageable. However, if a child were to have two parents of our nature, well, it didn't happen during my time, but I'm told it was quite a devastation. It would be crazy if that happened, wouldn't it?
not incredibly familiar with how the Desico internally operate. So if you say it would be crazy, I'll take you at your word.
Oh, our society, if you want to call it that, has long since fallen apart. What with the war and the fusion. I wonder what that war was over.
I don't really understand what you're getting at.
Well, wars come to a head for a lot of reasons. Like I said, power struggles, squabbles. Somebody wanting this, somebody else wanting that. But sometimes all it takes to tip into war that's been brewing for centuries is a small drop to overfill that cup of conflict. Do you think you were that drop, Esmond? Do you think you were what made the cup overflow, what made it flood it all? What started everything falling apart? I don't think so, but who can say?
Um,
So, questions? You have any?
um, um, I'm sorry, are you trying to imply that my parents are like you?
What do you think?
I think I'm asking you a question, is what I think.
Why do you think the great hunter sought you?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you don't know who she is? The inevitable, the creeping fear that lives in your veins, the
Right.
darkness that stalks your dreams.
Blood.
Blood.
Blood. Oh. I presume you're referring to the dread.
Indeed. She hunted you for a reason after all. Wanted to test if she was right.
Why exactly did she have to kill me to do that?
You came back, didn't you?
Why did she do it in the first place?
To see if my prophecy was true.
What was your prophecy?
And with this, Anya leans forward, and you see again that rotting eye socket. That the creation of a new Desico would tear this world apart. Do you think a new one was created, Esmond Clausey?
I think I would have noticed if I was a Desico.
You know, all the rest of us, we get our power passed down to us. We aren't born this way. I was a normal person once. Just as normal as any of those people out in your cute little village. I wonder how long it takes for that kind of power to emerge in someone who was born that way. I wonder if they'd survive it.
Are you intentionally trying to scare me.
Maybe.
To what end?
If you're scared, you'll be more careful. You'll understand what's at stake.
Who were my parents?
Well, one's dead, so it doesn't really matter. No, does it? Protected you until the very end, though, so that's cute. The other, though, she wanted to see if her plans worked. And I guess she got her answer.
What were their names?
What's your middle name, Esmond? Do you have one? What do you think about the concept of middle names?
Uriel.
How did you choose your name, Esmond? What drew you to it?
My father wouldn't let me name myself Lilypad.
So he suggested Esmond.
Yes.
It's ironic. Esmond Uriel. Or was it Uriel Esmond? Told he was a good man. Never met him, so can't really comment for myself. It's funny that Gabriel convinced you to name yourself that. Maybe a little memorial. Cute, I guess you could say.
You know, when Heather said I would be able to talk to you, she didn't imply that you'd be such a colossal asshole.
I'm trying to get a gauge of what kind of person you are, Esmond.
One that has short patience right now, evidently.
I don't tell Havoc everything. Partly because she doesn't particularly want to know. But also because she doesn't really have the, ironically enough, foresight to make these plans. You, though, you're the conniving sort.
Well, don't feel necessary to butter me up or anything.
Don't think you need any buttering up or anything of that sort. To the one who hunts you, you're already plenty of an appetizing meal. So I think you should stop playing at being a bird of prey and act like a mouse and hide. Oh, fucking... No! This is so sad, my internet is out. Hold on, I'm getting back to... Turn on my phone's 3G. Not 3G, the hotspot. Come on. Recording this is so sad. Discord reconnect challenge. Come on.
He's
Yeah.
the normalest man ever.
Yeah. He was a.
I'm so
Hey.
mad. I said such a banger line. And then
I
Yeah,
realized I had
I was
lost
singing
you.
Chiquitita.
Say again?
I was singing Chiquitita.
Understandable. Where did you lose me?
Um, I don't remember.
Was it where
I
I
think
called you appetizing?
no, I didn't hear that. What?
Oh, a spoiler. Oh my god.
I forget what you said. I'm sure you can listen to the recording because the recording went for all of this, but you
Yeah.
can listen to the recording. But you said something that prompted Anyo to say, "There's someone out there who already finds you plenty appetizing, and I think that you should stop playing at being a bird of prey and act like the mouse you are and hide."
That is kind of banger. What the fuck? God damn. Well, what am I doing here then?
I don't know. 'Cause see, my foresight only went up to the fusion. After that, well, everything kept changing constantly. My foresight worked in short bursts in the 24-hour period, but too much of the world was changing, too much was happening to look further beyond that. And before things could settle down, I was killed. Someone else wields my power now. I can feel it from time to time being used, and I don't know what the right path forward is, Esmond. I don't know if helping you is good or bad. I don't know if I should kill you. Not that I could. I don't know if I should point you in the direction of greater power. Not that I could. What I do
Did they
know,
actually though? Huh.
What I do know is that you and the company you hold, I saw that coming. Even before the fusion. And that being the one thing I saw amidst all that confusion, I don't know if that's good or bad. And of course, even that depends on what perspective you take.
You probably want to come from the perspective where the most people end up living.
Certainly. But there's lots of people who have that goal. They all disagree how to go about doing it, now don't they?
I think that the easiest way to accomplish something is everybody just stops killing each other.
You could say that. But there's always something.
There's always somebody who wants power, and there is always someone who strives after more and they need. Greed drives this world. That is all it has ever been, is pure unadulterated greed. Because you want something from someone wants something from you.
Do you
If you,
consider it? Oh, go ahead.
if people could stop hurting each other for the betterment of themselves, wouldn't that just be the best outcome we could ask for? People are not naturally inclined towards hurting each other.
You sound just as optimistic as he did. Do you think you'll follow in his footsteps? Will you too be killed by one you hold close? Will you too bleed out protecting your child till your last breath and hope that somehow he's the one able to finally break the cycle?
What cycle?
Esmond Clausey, whether or not you are a Desico, or Desico in the making, or possible Desico, or any of the 1,000 things I could possibly think of, your birth was the breaking of our one sacred law. A law that was upheld by every Desico, no matter what their goals, because it upheld the structure of our very universe. So your creation threatens that. Do you think there would be repercussions for our laws being broken? You may not be the one at fault, but not everyone cares about that kind of thing. If it were up to me, I would not punish a child for decisions others made that were outside of their control. I was not the one charged with that decision, though. You've had a rough life, haven't you, Closey? A cursed life, if you will.
On the contrary, I'd say that I've had a pretty alright life compared to a lot of people.
You weren't betrayed by someone so close to you, you never saw it coming. There isn't a betrayal waiting even now in the wings that you know is there, but you're too scared to admit it to yourself. That dear old dad could be hiding something. That your brother could. That your friends could.
Bro, are you trying to make me avoid some shit? Damn. Shut up!
What I'm saying, Esmond, is repetition. That was the curse. You are stuck in a loop. And I don't know what kind of person that will make you into.
I suppose you'll just have to find out.
I guess I get to sit and watch. I'm done playing the game. I'm just part of the audience now.
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to be part of anything else when you're just a tooth. Teeth.
That's a way to put it. I don't want to
Very
play the
stationary.
game anymore.
Right.
But they kind of stand up and like reach forward and Their fingers go right through yours, and yet somehow it catches on the tooth and tugs it free from your hand. Beware the hunter, Esmond Clausey. You succeeded in her little test. And it's only going to be so long until she comes back to see how her little hatchling is going. Only time will tell if you are what she meant to create or not. And with that, you blink, and Anyo is gone.
Um, Esmond is going to stare at the wood grain of the table where the tooth is still.
No, it's gone now. Anyo grabbed it
Oh,
and disappeared with it.
okay. Work, I guess. Where it was. And then he's going to get up very abruptly, very quickly, and walk over to the counter and rip off the end of the bread and take a very big bite out of it while clutching the counter, white-knuckled.
Roll an Arcana check, Esmond.
He's trying not to throw up. Fucking 11.
You don't know where it comes from, but there is this feeling of warmth that kind of creeps into your chest. And at first you think it's meant to be soothing, but you're too torn up, I guess you could say, in this moment. Too tossed in the wind. And you can't focus on it. And you can feel the second this, attempted calming sensation goes wrong as you fail to keep your own thoughts, your own magic in check. And the feeling of safety shifts to a memory of another time. You felt this warmth, this protection, this comfort. And you get another flicker of something you dreamed about in the darkness, in the waiting, in the call. Of somebody curled very tightly around a bright light, long forgone to the world. Just alone, the two of them, for a very long time. And that is where we will end the session.
Holy, what the fuck?
Wow.
I didn't think I would.
When you get the plot.
I just got the whole plot.
Not all of it. And even you, Savior, are aware that you didn't get all of it. Not even a portion of it. Well, a portion. But...
I mean, Esmond can grasp some concepts based on some of the language used. Wow.
I hope you like my spooky little guy.
I do like your spooky little guy.
When you're dead, and the only way you can have fun now is by taunting the living.
Yeah, Esmond feels sufficiently taunted and spooked.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you just bullied a sad bisexual man. Jeez.
It'd be like that, you know?
Man.
Sometimes you are queer and dead, and this is all you got in this world.
All you got is bullying a twink.
Yeah. Anya would bully people on TikTok.
Watch out! He could be less of a twink soon.
So true. That's so crazy. That's so quirky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I was
He
gonna
can't. He's
have
eating like bread.
I was gonna have the session end with Havoc making more jokes and teasing Esmond again, depending on your reaction to things. But I liked that ending better. So, hell yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
So at what point would this be
This
with the party
is
gone?
this is about even with where the party's at right now.
Oh lord.
You still got a while left on your own, bestie.
Oh
How
no,
are
what's
you
gonna
holding up?
happen?
Oh,
Bad.
oh no, what's happening to me?
I think Esmond should just go into hibernation. Put him under, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus.
I sure hope nothing else happens.
I feel like that's... Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like pretty nailing coffin.
That would be funny.
Hmm?
I said that would be funny.
If what?
If that was it. You know? If that was the only things as we experienced while the others were away.
I manifest it. Yeah, that's it. That's all that happens to Esmond. He just has a bad little time. Oh, that would suck bad.
Yeah? You
Yeah.
don't want to do that, Savior?
I would love to. Esmond's no good, very bad week.
Esmond's no good, very bad month.
Jesus. You're gonna come back and y'all are gonna come back and this man's just gonna be like a stick figure.
He's gonna be the stick figure in Havoc's book.
Yeah, he's gonna be ashes. But I'm pretty sure based on, would you say it's a leap for, since I can't properly assess this since I already know it, for Esmond to conclude that based on some of the language that Anya used in regards to the dread,
Say again?
that would it because I don't want to metagame, but based on like some of the language that Anya used in regards to the dread and Esmond, and their like connection to each other, like saying she created him and that like her hatchling, would it be outside the realm of possibility for him to be like, why are all my characters hatching from eggs?
I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility for Esmond to be like, is the dread my mom?
Yeah, that's his current dread. Is the dread is the dread my mom? That is the dread.
Crazy.
He dreads that.
Uh,
Is that my mother? She killed me. Well, boys, I'm back in the running. For who's gonna be a Desico first in the party?
you're in a race with Tori.
Yeah. I mean, I figure it's probably gonna be Tori, Nemesis, or Esmond. I think it's their first. Yeah. Dog. Now you're just gonna
Dog.
turn into a werewolf. I think that would be cool if you became a werewolf. I would take such good care of you.
D-
You'd be like my pet. Don't read into that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
don't read into. Cosmic Classy makes me so sad. Like in a cathartic way.
yeah.
He matters. He's important to me.
If King, I know I've said this before, but if it is too much, you can always
No,
tell
no, no,
me.
no. No. I mean in a cathartic way.
Understandable.
Like I love when he suffers, and then also when he doesn't.
Hmm.
Like you can go harder if you want.
I'm not going to, at least not yet. But
Okay.
you know.